Bit of a weird one, eh?
All by design, buddy.
Your design was to lose?
Yeah. I wanted to jump out to a lead to remind you that if I wanted to win, I could have.
So then why did Pasta take the lead midway through the third?
He's not super on board with the plan. You know what? That doesn't matter. I called you in here for business.
All right, what you got for me?
How would you like a slightly used Trent Frederick?
Is he healthy?
I don't know.
Okay, well, is he good?
Right now or in the future?
Both.
I don't know.
Then no.
Okay, all right. How about a more extensively used Brandon Carlo?
Extensively used? Is he healthy?
Kinda.
Is he good?
Right now or in the future?
Both.
I don't know.
Well, then no, man. What are you doing?
Okay. Morgan. The Elite. Geeky.
Is he healthy?
Yes.
Is he good?
Right now? Yes.
And in the future?
I don't know.
Seriously, brother, you are not good at this.
Well, screw you. I haven't had to do this in a while. Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins franchise. That is not a dub. Is that 4 in a row that we've lost? I think it's 4 in a row. Three of which we've had leads going into the third. I don't know. It was weeks ago that 2 of those games happened, so I can't possibly be asked to remember that. The Bruins lose in an embarrassing fashion again. Honestly, if I just didn't put a title for this one, you would have had no idea what part of the season we would actually be in if I just started with like, hey, this is an embarrassing, awful loss. Because we've had a lot of those. There's silver linings to it, right? There are silver linings, depending on which camp you're in. If you're in the camp that you're like, we need to tank, good news. We lost. Overtime point, but still, good news. If you're in the camp of, all right, not tank, but we do need to retool. I don't want Sweeney to convince himself that this is a playoff contending team. Good news, right? This performance was looking like something that could convince Sweeney to be like, hold on, we might have something here. And then it turned around, yeah. And then it ended up being what it was. So there you go. If you just want to watch great hockey, I don't have good news for you, but that was fun hockey. At least this one was fun, right? There's your good news. It was fun. We haven't had a lot of entertaining. I think actually this is one of the biggest frustrations I keep hearing from people is not only is the team just not very good, and that's okay. That happens sometimes, you know. This is entertainment. It's our team. We'll love them anyway. This version of them we might want to throw into the sun a little bit, but we do love our Bruins. But a lot of people have made the comment that one of the most frustrating things about this freaking team is that it also sucks to watch them. Like, there are teams that are bad, but they're entertaining to watch. This Bruins team, now that we are like on the same page, right, where we go, hey, we don't really care about the wins that much anymore, right? We're starting to get there. I know the standings are still very close with a lot of teams, but Sweeney's presser on Sunday basically said like, we're leaning a different direction, all that kind of stuff. Even if you didn't care about the win, this was super entertaining. Had you cared about the win or not cared about the win on Saturday, it was also a terrible hockey game. Like, it was boring, which is a problem in the entertainment business, right? So, it's been a frustrating year because it hasn't been a good year, and it's also been an incredibly lackluster as far as entertainment kind of year. I also gotta say, this is a bummer, and this is just me being whiny, but God, has it brought out just the worst of social media and comment sections. People being purposefully obtuse. I mean, I get comments on these videos where I'll talk about something and somebody comments on like the first part of that conversation and acts like a know-it-all asshole. And then most of the things that they mentioned were actually answered in the video. They were things I had already talked about, but that person heard one thing and they just went off on it because no one has any media literacy or anything like that. I say no one. These are small groups of very vocal people. I love you guys. There's just certain ones out there that really suck, right? We all see it on social media. And if you're on Twitter or Instagram or wherever, you are seeing comments and things that just make you go, ugh. I mean, why do the Bruins even want to win for a person like you? Gross. And it really has brought out the worst, which has been exhausting and has made many things about this channel just more difficult. That being said, there are a ton of great people, obviously, in the comments who have great thoughts and point out some excellent things. I don't get upset at those who are just upset about the team and just ranting and raving about it. It's the ones who attack myself or other commenters or the players. Like, there's one thing to say, like, hey, this guy sucks, and another thing to say something vile about them. Not a good look. Not a good look. But in the Discord, everyone's a stud. Everyone's a stud. Join the Discord, link below. Also, I am on Twitter if you want to follow there. Check that out. High Quality Inspectors, thank you all so much for your support and keeping this thing going. Yeah, let's talk about this Leafs team a little bit. Let's talk about it a little bit. This is the first game after Sweeney basically said we aren't going to be buyers, and multiple players are aware that they might be on their way out. That was a pretty clear message there, especially because he said UFAs and RFAs will not be signed by the deadline in all likelihood, other than Marchand, who they're still trying to get there with. I expected this team to be one of two things. One, completely dejected and fall apart awful. Or two, dude, I want to stick around. I don't want to move. I don't want to pack up my shit and go to another city or country for that matter. Like, let's get my ass into gear. And early on, that's kind of what we got. But this Leafs team, it's the fourth meeting of the year. We've gone 1-2 against them up to this point and discovered an unfortunate thing. The Leafs now do have a Bruins killer. That's a bad sign, even for the future. Matthew Knies has 5 goals and 3 assists coming into this game across the previous 3 meetings. Now, of course, he did have a 5-point performance in our last meeting, so that was buoyed a little bit. But still, the guy's going nuclear against the Bruins this year. I do think he got a point or 2 in this one as well. That is scary. What's even scarier is the Leafs are now firmly entrenched as a true contender, cup contender, with the benefit of a fairly weak Eastern Conference in front of them. Now, I think a lot of people are going to have an issue with that, and that's okay. I think we can disagree on this one. But not to say the East is bad, right? They're certainly not as good as they have been in years past, I don't think. I think the East typically has some teams that are truly top-notch, juggernaut level excellence, right? Well, this year, it feels like all the top teams have pretty clearly defined weaknesses, all of which can be exploited in one way or another. It's really hard to tell who's actually going to come out on top on these different series because you don't typically know how much the strength versus weakness is going to show up. Hockey's just weird like that. And sometimes we nail it and we feel really proud of ourselves of like, hey, special teams are really going to matter in this series, and they do, or something like that, which, I mean, that one's kind of a softball one anyway. But you know what I mean. But each team has a real weakness, unless you think that the Capitals are truly as good as they've been as they march through a really impressive season, but one where it just seems like everything is going their way. I mean, even when Ovi went down, the team just kept humming. They lead the league in shooting percentage. They're a good team. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to crap on the Capitals here, but I don't know if they're as good as their pace is right now, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I think the team still also has some weaknesses. All I'm trying to get at here is that Toronto should feel very confident about their chances this year and should be going all in. And I don't even think we've seen the best version of Toronto, mostly because Matthews is still working through his injury stuff. He missed about 15 games, but he is, by reports, still basically dealing with an injury. They have the 13th ranked power play, which seems drastically low for the talent they can put on the ice. The 14th ranked penalty kill. They are 12th in goals for and 11th in goals allowed. All of that just seems a little too close to the middle for some reason with the talent on this team. They, like I mentioned, they went without Matthews for a month and a half, month-ish there. But for the most part, they've just kind of kept cruising. Their cruise control as all of the pieces continue to build chemistry and work towards the playoffs. The goaltending has been excellent, with Wall and Stolarz posting a 9.10 and a 9.28 respectively. Both of them have been very, very good. For the Bruins, the lineup will be Marchand, Lindholm, Coyle, Geeky, Zakapasta, Frederick, Patra, Wallstrom, Kepke, Beecher, Kostelik, Zadorov, Carlo, Callahan, Wotherspoon, Lohrei, Peak, Swayman. Was Callahan actually in that game? Hold on. I'm about to feel really dumb. Hold on. That was definitely... Yeah, he played 12 minutes. Oh, he only played 12 minutes. Huh. Well, good job by him then. Because I never saw anything that I was upset about, right? What? I don't know if there's ever... Like, we joked them, like, I didn't even know that guy was out here. I did not know that guy played that whole game. 12 minutes, though. Yikes. So, of course, Hampus and McAvoy are still out. Brazeau swaps out for Wahlstrom. Brazeau had a tough game last game. And then Koepke back in the lineup, pushing Tufte out. Koepke back in the lineup totally makes sense. He's had some good stretches this season. He deserves to come back in. Wahlstrom has been an absolute nothing burger since the day they took him off waivers. I don't want to see him anymore. I would really like to not see Wahlstrom anymore. I'm getting close to begging here. Let's talk about this game, shall we? Puck drops. Puck drops! And 29 seconds in. This is almost like a bad sign for the Bruins. Why is it that when we score super early, you don't relax, you get more anxious? I know you do. There's not a single Bruins fan this season who we score in the first minute. We celebrate. We get excited. But then as soon as you settle back down, you're kind of like, oh, why do I feel bad right now? Why do I feel anxious? Well, 29 seconds in, the Bruins recover the puck in their zone. Zacha makes a great heads-up play. Looks like he's about to get pinned in, but makes a great play to get the puck to Lohrei, who's at the center of the defensive zone. And Lohrei is just going for it right now. And I kind of respect it. The defense is still not there. He knows it's not there. He is working on improving there, but he's really leaning into, like, let's just make things happen while I'm on the ice. And he sees Pasta basically down by the opposing blue line, and he whips that puck all the way up. Pasta collects, breakaway, puts it on his hip, and Sniper-Rooney, and jeez! Top blocker. And it's 1-0, and everyone goes, whee! Ooh. Because you just don't know if it's your only goal of the game, I guess. I think that's where I stand at this point. Also, Pasternak is nasty. I just want to point that out. 4:32 in. Bruins. For too many men, going to the penalty kill. We'd kill it. In my head, I went, we can have one of those games where we're going to take 1 billion penalties. No, we aren't. The other team, though, we'll get there. Tanev is going to go down the tunnel after some contact with Beecher. It was a very basic forechecking hit from Beecher, but something was bothered. Tanev would not return. So the Leafs are playing the majority of this game with 5 defensemen. 7:15 left. Nice for holding. We're going to the power play. Best chance of the power play is a 2-on-1 for the Leafs. Off a broken stick from Pasternak. Matthews goes posting out. I wrote that with about a minute left of that power play. That's a little faith I have in our power play and special teams in general. But about 30 seconds after that 2v1, the Bruins are set up in the offensive zone. Pasta on the right circle, slowly sliding in. He's threatening the net, and he whips this to it. And save is made, but the rebound bounces off of the back of McCabe, and Marchand is at the net front to slam this 5-hole. 2-0, power play goal. We got power play goal! We're doing things with the special teams. You'd love to see it. 4:37 left of the period. Beecher with an awful turnover on the opposing blue line. Beecher is really not having a lot of fun playing hockey right now, unfortunately. The Bees are set up in the offensive zone, so there's really no one to recover there. Domi gets to collect a free puck, has a breakaway with Beecher on his back. Swayman makes the save, 5-hole. Beecher will go for holding like 15 seconds later, and the Bruins touch the puck multiple times during this. I'm very confused. Brick was talking about how, like, the lineman made that call. It wasn't actually, like, the center ice referee because he was way closer to it, and the referee trusted that. And the referee called it anyway. Kind of weird. Either way, I think that's the right call. Anyway, we're going to the penalty kill. And we do kill that. 2 seconds left of the period. A crazy bounce off of a deflection in the slot puts the puck on Geeky's stick, backdoor, wide open net. Stolarz with the glove. I mean, it's a great save. He doesn't even catch it. He just smacks it away. But, I mean, what a save from Stolarz. And I just sat there and went, Geeky, so cold. So cold. He wouldn't be for long. Every game that I say that earlier in the game, he ends up scoring anyway. Second period starts, 2:10 in, OEL and Patra get mixed up. And Patra's upset about something Oliver Ekman-Larsson did. I'm not sure. But Domi skates by and gives a little cross-check to the back of Patra, and then gets mauled by Frederick. Somehow, only Domi gets the penalty here for cross-checking. If the roles were reversed, I'd be livid. I'd be like, how was he the only... I don't know. We're going to go to the power play. Frederick does not return after this, by the way. There is some concern there. There is no update from Sacco after the game. There's no update. He just said, like, I've got nothing for that. We'll see. I would say this is a bad power play, but it's not. I got to credit the Leafs here. That's weird. I hate it. But their penalty kill was aggressive, and the power play was making some plays, but they couldn't get through. So, good job by them. 5:08 in, Holmberg for tripping. We're going back to the PP. 21 seconds later. Lohrei makes a late pinch on a puck. That he, of course, loses the race too and has to make contact with Marner to prevent him from going off on a breakaway. They're going to call that for cross-checking, 4v4 for 139 and a short penalty kill, which we do kill. Lohrei has had some real ups and downs. I know that some people are frustrated with some of the plays he made. He also made some really excellent ones. He's going to have to find that middle of the road there, and that's going to take time because, I mean, he's just not there yet. But he'll get there. I truly believe Lohrei is going to be great. 10:07 left. Another penalty kill for the Leafs. McCabe for interference. We're going to the power play again. And the Bruins win the initial faceoff, I think, because ESPN went to commercial and then it came back up while I was grabbing a drink and it was like, hey, there's a goal. Like I literally heard the goal call, the last second of the goal call. Whatever. Win the faceoff. Lohrei has the puck at the center of the blue line. He's going to dish it to Pasta at the top of the right circle. Down to Marchand on the goal line next to Stolarz. Up to Lindholm, who's in the bumper position. He's going to slam this blocker side. Stolarz is going to kick it out, but it's going to go right to Geekie, who's in the left circle, who has a wide open net. And Geekie ain't cold. Geekie's elite. And hammers this. And it is 3-0. 2 power play goals. A Pastrnak breakaway goal. You're up 3-0 against the Toronto Maple Leafs. You just like to see that, you know? You love to see it. This team, competitive, energetic, bringing it at home in front of their adoring fans. What could possibly go wrong? 7:39 left. Pasta strips Marner on our blue line and gets a contested breakaway with Marner on his hip. Stolarz makes the stop. Big chance there. Doesn't go in. That's okay. You have a 3-goal lead, dude. It's fine. No pressure. 6:08 left. Leafs set up in our zone. The defensive structure is there. Nyes does manage. That's a weird sentence. Does manage to send a pass through the top of the slot to Riley, who from the left circle just pucks to the net, baby. Not a bad idea in that. And Wotherspoon, who's battling well to keep the net front clear, it's going to bounce off his body and pass Swayman at an angle that Swayman can't make the stop. This was probably going wide. This is just a really great bounce for them. And it's 3-1. It's a 2-goal lead. Maintain that 2-goal lead. Get to the third with a 2-goal lead, and you should be fine. 5:39 left. Domi for roughing. We're going to the power play. 20 seconds into the power play. Lohrei fans on the puck at the top of the slot. I know we're saying Lohrei in some negative ways here. Lorentz collects. He gets a breakaway. Like a no one with me breakaway. Other than another Leaf who's directly parallel to me. Maybe should have used him, bud. He tries to go high glove. Swayman gets it with the glove shoulder, knocks it down. Huge save by Swayman, who made a couple huge ones, and then did not make a couple other ones. So it all works out in the wash. 20 seconds later, they'll get another 2-on-1. This time Marner tries to go low blocker. Save made once again by Swayman. 2:38 left. Another Leafs penalty. This time Nyes for delay of game. We're going to the power play. 18 seconds left of the power play. Wallstrom's going to go for high sticking. So we're going to go 4v4 for 18 seconds. This is in the offensive zone, by the way. Get this guy off my team, please. Thank you. 18 seconds of 4v4, then a penalty kill. With 3 seconds left of the period, Marchand has a breakaway and he fans on the shot. There's a lot of what-ifs here. Thank God this isn't like the playoffs, because this one would stick for a long time. For a very long time. It's fine. Let's go to the third period. Still about a minute left of the penalty kill itself. Oh, the Bruins that we love. 58 seconds into the third with a 2-goal lead. where every point matters if you're trying to make the playoffs, which this team still is, the players still are. Peak watches Marner walk right up to him. He is directly in front of Swayman, a few feet in front of Swayman. Marner just walks right in and just flings this high glove and beats Swayman from in tight. Peak is like knee down. This is a play that you'd expect a forward to make when they're on the power play and there's like a one-on-one the other way. And you're like, you have a forward defending you. Make a move on him. And the forward keeps giving you too much space, and just goes down on the knee trying to block anything he can. That's what Peak did. Peak had an absolutely abysmal third period. I'm getting upset. I'm not going to get upset. It's 3-2. It's a power play goal for the Leafs. And you've immediately allowed them to get right back into this game to start the third period. Something you couldn't really afford. 6:40 into the period. It's actually been pretty even through the first 6 or so minutes. But that 3-0 lead has become a distant memory because the Bruins dump the puck in and Stolarz flicks it to Riley. He's the first one to the puck and flips it to Riley. And he is in the left circle in their defensive zone. And he whips this about 100 feet to Robertson, who's skating through the neutral zone. He has to throw it directly at Peak. Now, Peak somehow, after this puck is sent into their zone, is not ready to defend. He's just not prepared. So it goes right underneath his legs. Robertson collects behind him, and he gets sort of a breakaway. Lorai's coming from the other angle, trying to use his angles to cut it off. Robertson skates into the left circle and beats Swayman clean, low glove. Would have loved a save there. Really would have loved a save there. It's a great scoring chance from a good scorer, all that kind of stuff. But, you're a big-time goalie. I would have loved a save there. 9:27 left. Geeky, with a strong forecheck, gets McCabe pinned to the wall. And McCabe, panicked, haphazardly, tries to just shovel this puck down behind the net. But Pasta is there to collect. He is going to steal that, skate right towards the net where he has time and space. And as soon as Stolarz moves off that near side post, that's when Pasta snipes high corner. And it is 4-3. And I truly believed that we were going to win this game at that point. Because Pastrnak was just going nuclear. I was like, he's going to get a Hattie, empty netter. It's going to be awesome. I should have known better. Because 40 seconds left of the period. 46 seconds left, I believe. Bruins have been scrambling for a while now, as you would expect. No one can clear a puck. Zadorov, Wotherspoon, and Zacha have each taken turns making head-scratchingly bad blunders in our zone. And it will finally pay off for the Leafs as they have to re-enter the zone. We managed to get it clear. Go us. They get back into our zone. They just wrap the puck around the left side, comes back up the right side. Zadorov gets there first, tries to just swing at it to smack it up the boards without no sort of situational awareness or any spacing awareness, anything like that. Because right behind him is Robertson, who just collects that puck from him, thank you, and skates away towards the net. Now the entire defense, the Bruins defense, collapses in on Swayman, which means Holmberg from the right circle just gets to kind of slide his way in. It looks like Robertson might go around the back of the net, but before he gets to Wayne Gretzky's office, he's going to dish this right up to Holmberg, who has short side, and it is 4-4. We're going to overtime. And once again, the Bruins have blown a lead with less than a minute left of the third period. How many times this season? It's painful. I didn't take any overtime notes because I was putting my head through a wall over and over and over again, just out of sheer discomfort and pain. But after Lorai does attempt a pretty great play, comes down low on the goal line, skates right into the net front, tries to swoop it around Stolarz, save made. Puck goes the other way, and Marner gets to finish it off. Great for them. And it's a 5-4 overtime win for the Leafs. Game notes. Pasternak's incredible. He's incredible. He's unbelievable. And frankly, without Pastrnak, I think this team genuinely might be like in the bottom 7 or 8 in the league, right? Actually, where are we now? This might be an audacious statement because we might already be... We're not that far down, right? No, we are... Holy tits. We're 20th. Yikes, dude. Yikes. It's been a while since I've seen us down here. Yikes. Yeah, so maybe bottom 5. We might be bottom 5 without Pasta. Jesus, Pasta's having this kind of season and we're 20th. Yikes! The Frederick injury. Another game note. That is concerning. I don't want to make this about his value because he's a human being who got hurt, and that feels really shitty to just be like, he got hurt right when we were gonna ship him off somewhere else. But I also get it. Like, that does, as an asset management kind of thing, that sucks. But I hope he's okay. Let's just leave it at that. You know, that sucks. It sucks all around, and I hope he's all right. Bummer. This team, another game note here, has zero composure. And I know that's nothing new, but my goodness, that was pathetic to watch late in the third period. They just couldn't get it clear when they had the puck with time and space. We love that, time and space, and they still can't clear the puck. They can't make a play out of the zone. The other net's empty. They just can't do it. It's not a physical inability, by the way. Like, this roster not only has talent issues, right? Like, they do have talent issues, but between the ears, there is something truly wrong with this team, particularly in these situations, with the way they give up late period goals, response goals to when they score, just backbreakers over and over and over again. There is something mentally incorrect in that locker room for this. Like, there is a fatigue that is spread through this franchise that has created this feeling of anxiety whenever they have a lead late. Like, that healthy feeling of anxiety, great. The one that's crippling, that doesn't allow you to play your game, not so great. I think that's audacious for me to sit here and act like I know what's happening in the locker room. I get that, but there's too much evidence that something is fucking wrong mentally with this team. There really is something wrong here. It's not just the talent. That being said, talent shows up in those moments. So when you're a very talented team, those are the moments that you shine the brightest. So let's call it a little column A, a little column B. Just work with me here. My last game note is I never want to see Wahlstrom again. Yeah, that's deep stuff right there. That's good analysis. Proud of that. Proud of that. Go Bees. Go Bees! And now it's time to say thank you to the high quality inspectors. I appreciate each and every one of you. There's over 100 of you at this point. And I love doing these thank yous at the end, but I think we're reaching such a volume that I have to rethink this strategy because you're all so incredible and so supportive. But this is getting really long and there's got to be a better way, right? But let's start the thank yous, of course, with the top line tier. Dampen, Chris and Erica, Negev79, Trial Exotic, Jeff McGugan, Quackin' Platypus, Andrew Peterson, Sean Kreider, JM, Zenon Noel DeGuy, Donald Shelton, Kevin Timperley, Anakin Palpatine, The Rat 63, Lola Cattingsworth, EKM Productions, Moonlighter TV, Big Bad Bruin, The Bugman, Adam Ella, Jeff with a G, Tommy Braga, Roland 22, GD Viperworks, Len Cruz, Brock Nope, Michael Kemmerer, Han Slomo, Coach D, The Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Brett Arney, Pincent, and Nick Zatrullo. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. You're absolute legends of this channel, and you're very appreciated. And now, of course, to our all-star tier members. Lorenzo Wood, Jake Brower, Penny Pasta, Levi Catalani, Boston Stringler, Bagel, JG's 12, Mark S., Jacob Pratt, Nightmare Eco, John Kirk, Ann Hustis, Joel, Heil E. Coyote, Darren Woodbury, Abraxion, Michael DePaulo, Wolf Warrior, Vinny, Adrian Winter, Tupton D. Tashi, Bruin Smash, DeKingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Doots42, and Jeremy. Absolute stallions, every single one. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for being a part of the channel. I cannot express my gratitude. Go Bees.